Assalamu alaikum, family. This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope y'all are having a blessed and wonderful day. Hope you today is hump day, halfway through the week. We got 2 more days. The weekend will be upon us. Hope you all are doing well out there. In the likelihood that you're having one of those days, always remember this. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah God, and He will see you through. I could definitely bear witness to that. So, I've been transparent on here. I'm not a fan of everything that Donald Trump does. And this is an example. If you look at the title, I wanted to also add Kentucky Republican Representative Thomas Massey, but the title was too long. But I am not a fan of everything Donald Trump does. Some things I agree with, but this is one of those cases where no, this is just overreach. This is complete uh, tyrannical behavior. So there's a Palestinian activist who attends Columbia University in New York City, and he was protesting. Now, get this: he was protesting Israel's treatment of the Palestinian people, the Israeli government, not the United States government, the Israeli government. And Trump has said that he was arrested without just cause, without a warrant, and there have been protests um, to for his release, and a federal judge, thank God, a federal judge blocked Mr. Trump's attempt to deport this young man, and he was protesting the Israeli government's treatment of the Palestinians, not the United States, but Israel. Since when does someone get deported for protesting a foreign government here in the United States? Just think about that for a minute. Just let that marinate. This young man is being deported, or was Trump was trying to deport him for protesting against the Israeli government's treatment of the Palestinians while in the U.S. On U.S. soil. That is unheard of. That is ridiculous. It's a violation of the Constitution. Hell, you could protest the United States government. You have that right. You could protest our government, and plenty of people, excuse me, plenty of people have protested against this government. Going back to the Vietnam War, all those anti-war protests was against our government. Back in the 80s, people protested the United States government for supporting South Africa. They wanted our government to put sanctions on South Africa, and Ronald Reagan refused. There were protests against that. There were protests against the Iraqi war, against George W. Bush. But never did Ronald Reagan, he threw the protesters in jail. I remember that, which is unconstitutional because their protests weren't violent. And let me make something clear. Protesting is as American as apple pie. We have the right to protest, to assemble. I may not agree with the protest, but you have that right. We have the right to protest in this country. It's in our constitutional rights. So this young man trying to be the Trump trying to deport him is just his behavior of being tyrannical. And I don't agree with it. Let me just read something to you. Before I go any further, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button now. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. Just want to read something from article from NBC News. The wife of Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil said she and her husband were returning to their apartment after breaking their Ramadan fast when immigration agents confronted them and arrested Khalil in a case that has prompted protests calling for his release. In a statement Tuesday night released by a spokesperson working on the case with Khalil's lawyers, Khalil's wife, who was not named, detailed the arrest and asked supporters to continue their pressure campaign to hasten a possible release as the couple is expecting a child in April. Wow. Her plea came as protesters demanded the release of the Palestinian activist for a second straight day. President Donald Trump said his arrest is the first of many. U.S. immigration ripped my soul from me, Khalil's wife said in Tuesday night's statement. Instead of putting together our nursery and washing baby clothes in anticipation of our first child, I am left sitting in an apartment wondering when Mahmoud will get a chance to call me from a detention center. This is just ridiculous. This is utterly ridiculous. Khalil, a Columbia University graduate, stu- Khalil, a Columbia University graduate student and green card holder, was taken by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, better known as ICE, agents from his university-owned apartment Saturday night after he was told his student visa was being revoked, his attorney, Amy Greer, has said. Khalil's wife said Tuesday that they had returned from an iftar dinner. That's when we break fast for Ramadan. Um, like here is it should be 7:13. So 7:13 our time on the West Coast. I'll break Ramadan iftar to have my first meal and to drink some water. So that's what iftar is. Iftar is a meal that breaks fasting during Muslims Ramadan holy month observations. I just explained that. She said agents told her to go to the couple's apartment upstairs or face arrest as she continued to stay by her husband's side. We were not shown any warrant, and the ICE officers hung up the phone on our lawyer, she said. Agents whisked him away in the unmarked vehicle, she said, as she struggled to process what happened. So it goes on. So this young man has a green card. He's on a student visa, and it's been threatened of being revoked because he's protesting not the United States, not a violent protest. He's protesting Israel's treatment of Palestinians. This young man and his wife are Palestinian. This goes to show you, and I said this on my X timeline. Trump, as well as the Democrats, let me be clear on this. Trump, as well as the Democrats, they have an undying loyalty to AIPAC. They have an undying loyalty to Zionists. The Zionists they've been in control of the United States government since the Truman administration, since 1948, 77 years now. The Zionists control the media, they control our government, they control our banks, they control entertainment, and they control sports. They have their hands in everything that we as Americans partake of or deal with. The Zionists control it. AIPAC. What is AIPAC, you may ask? I'm about to tell you. AIPAC is American Israel Public Affairs Committee. American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Trump has an undying loyalty to AIPAC. So do the Democrats, Republicans and Democrats. They have an undying loyalty to the Zionists, and AIPAC is part of that. They have an undying loyalty to the Israeli government, whether it be Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. They have an undying loyalty to the Zionists, to AIPAC. in particular. Jill Stein mentioned this on the Breakfast Club. We have got to get candidates in office who will hold Israel accountable, who will not be at the beckoning call of the Zionists. Every administration since Harry Truman, I say 1948 and Harry Truman in particular, because 1948 is when Israel became an independent state. That's when it became an independent state. Was in 1948, and ever since then, every president has given billions of dollars in support of the Israeli government, from Harry Truman to Donald Trump the second time around. That's almost 8 decades, 77 years. They are beholden to the Zionists. So the Zionists are telling Mr. Trump, deport this young man, revoke his green card. How dare him protest against Israel's treatment of the Palestinians? Who do he think he is? He's not protesting the United States. He's protesting Israel while in New York City, which is, last time I checked, on American soil. This is just overreach. And it's not going to end there. If you don't agree with Israel, if you against anything that Israel does, not the Israeli people, but the Israeli government. The Israeli government is they are the synagogue of Satan. They are uh they're the same as the United States government. They're very imperialistic. They're neocolonialist. They learned that from their big brothers, the United States and Great Britain. The Israeli government is one of the most wicked governments in this world. They are wicked. Netanyahu is a devil. The Israeli government they're wicked, extremely wicked. This isn't being anti-Semitic. This is being pro-truth. Israel, the Israeli government in particular, are part of the synagogue of Satan. They are a wicked regime, a sadistic regime. Anytime you bomb innocent men, women, and children who just want to find shelter, who just want to find food and water, you are wicked. You are sadistic. You are satanic. And the United States isn't exempt from this too, because we've done it. This government has done it too. They're not exempt. So is Mr. Trump going to come after me? I'm an American citizen, born and raised here. I served in the military. He going to come after me for speaking the truth, like this young man did, Mahmoud Khalil. It's just ridiculous, and it's just overreach. It's tyrannical. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said 8 years ago that Trump was going to be the last American president. Not the last president, the last American president, where he's going to try to go all out to keep American interest. And we see what he's doing with these terrorists against Canada and Mexico and China too. So the minister's words are prophetic. Anything, and but what was crazy is that, again, this young man isn't protesting the United States. He isn't protesting our government. He's protesting Israel. So how is it that you deport someone who is on U.S. soil for protesting against the treatment, for protesting a foreign government's treatment of his people? How does that make sense? You're protesting the Israeli government on United States soil, but you get deported. You try to deport him for that? He's not in Israel. He's in the United States. He's a Columbia University student. Columbia University is in New York City, not in Jerusalem, not in Tel Aviv. I mean, last time I checked. And you try to deport him for that? This goes to show you what I said a couple of minutes ago. Trump is beholden to AIPAC and the Zionists. And they are telling Trump, they're pulling his strings and telling him to get this young man out of the country. Why else would Trump be doing this? The Zionists and AIPAC are behind it. And it's not just the Republicans who have an undying loyalty to Israel, AIPAC, the Zionists, it's the Democrats too, both parties. And it has to stop. It has to stop. They say, well, uh, one of the lies that's being told out there is that we don't support terrorism or terrorist governments. That's a damn lie, because Israel is one of the greatest terrorists on this planet. They have a PhD in terrorism, and so do we, our government, that is. So don't believe that lie. And if that's not bad, Trump is trying to oust a fellow lawmaker, Kentucky Representative Thomas Massie. United States Representative. Trump is trying to oust him. Why? Massey is the lone Republican um, who's against the government spending bill that's being championed by Trump. He's the lone Republican who's against it, who's not for it. So Trump is vowing to oust him, to kick him out the Republican Party. And Representative Massey has raised, well, I think $1 million in support to combat this. A wave of he's beginning a wave of donations. I think it's total $1 million. Representative Massey is not like your typical Republican. He doesn't swear allegiance to MAGA. He doesn't swear allegiance to Trump. Thomas Massey is a maverick. He's a thinking man. He's a thinking man's politician. And salute to Representative Massey. And I wish him the best of luck. But Trump is trying to seat him because Massey has voted against Trump's spending bill. He's a lone Republican to vote against it. That's what makes him a maverick, a cavalier, so to speak. He's an anomaly, yeah, anomaly in the Republican Party. But in my opinion, I think he's brave. When you go against the grain, when you're the lone wolf, so to speak, the lone wolf, when everybody is going with the crowd, and you say, "No, I'm not going to do that. This doesn't seem right." You're going to get some pushback, whether it be in politics, if you're a lawmaker, or just in our daily lives. When we have family members or friends who are doing one thing, and you say, "No, I'm not going to do that." Yeah, I know you, my family member. I know you, my friend, but that's not right. I'm not going. I'm going to go this way. You could go this way. I'm going to go this way. Then you're called names. You're ostracized. You're different. Yeah, damn right. I'm different. I don't go with the crowd because 9 times out of 10, when you go with the crowd, it's the wrong thing to do. I go back to the Bible. Noah, great prophet of the Bible. Noah. Noah didn't go with the crowd. God told Noah to build an ark. I'm going to flood the earth. Get your family and those who want to listen to you could come onto the ark. Noah was building his ark. People were laughing at him, calling him names. You big dummy, you fool. Noah just kept building his ark. When the ark was completed, Noah got animals, male and female from each species, on board the ark, his family, and the people who ridiculed him, they drowned to death in the great flood. That's when God told Noah he was going to destroy the earth with water because of the wickedness of the world. And Noah and his family and animals that he had on board were saved. Everybody else died. They were destroyed. So it's always good to be different, to go against the grain, never to follow the crowd, to be your own person. And I salute Representative Thomas Massey. He's out of Kentucky. And the people of Kentucky are blessed to have him as their representative. They're blessed because he's against Trump's spending bill and he's not beholden to Trump. This is what makes him a maverick. There need to be more Republicans like him. Again, there are things I agree with Mr. Trump on, but this video is against Mr. Trump, his behavior with the Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil and with Representative Thomas Massey. I do not agree with Mr. Trump on either one of these instances. Either one. He's dead wrong. Because someone don't agree with you, you want to oust him from the Republican Party. This man has been a credit to the people of Kentucky. But because you can't get your way, Mr. Trump, you want to be act like Napoleon, be tyrannical. I'm going to kick him out the party. I'm going to oust him. You don't have that right. I'm going to deport a young man for protesting the Israeli government, even though it's on United States soil. I'm going to revoke his green card, have him arrested, and deport him. No, you cannot do that. There are checks and balances. There's a thing called the Constitution. That's why a federal judge blocked you from doing it, from deporting Mr. Khalil. That's why a federal judge blocked it. So you're dead wrong, Trump. You're dead wrong. There are things I agree with you on, but right, these two instances, you're dead wrong on it. Dead wrong. And I cannot be more Clearer than that. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button now. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. I know there are going to be some who disagree with me on this. I get it. It's your right. We all are entitled to a right to our opinion. I understand that. But in our disagreements, let's use logic, common sense, facts, and respect, not emotion and disrespect. That'll get you nowhere. And we have to agree to disagree without being disagreeable, especially on topics such as this. Let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable, please. Share this video, share it, share it, share it. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let's have a conversation. Let's put it out there in the algorithm. Support my YouTube channel here, my future projects. That'll be greatly appreciated as well. I need y'all love and support. I cannot do these without y'all. So please continue to support your brother. Brothers as well as sisters, y'all be safe out here. Beware and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy now more than ever before. So whether you're going to work, coming home from work, dropping your children off at school, picking them up, running errands, on vacation, whatever the case may be, beware and be aware. I will talk to y'all soon. Inshallah. I love y'all. Have a blessed and wonderful day. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.